it was well known airing both genres at the same time. Set entirely inside a spaceship, its presenter became a staple on the American block Toonami. Launched in '97 on Cartoon Network, the weekday action animation slot increased popularity with its content-driven programs. It also had its own channel outside the States. Unfortunately, this channel did not last that long. It had later then closed down, due to the decisions taken by the network. A year later, Cartoon Network had pulled out Toonami out of schedule. However, it would return to our screens in 2012 when Adult Swim revived the block on the month of April. What a journey Toonami has had, whatever it came from its good or bad moments to a successful relaunch. This story will take us to its humble beginnings, the rise and fall of the legendary name of the program block and former TV channel, the name where it stuck to those who grew up watching it when they were kids. Now before we start, this is not a biography of a person, it's even better than that. This is the story of Toonami's launch and demise. This is Channelography. On March 17, 1997, Toonami started airing as an action-adventure animation programming block on Cartoon Network. At the time of its inception, Toonami started airing programs such as The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, Thundercats, and Space Ghost. Around that same time, Toonami then began airing some of the biggest names of Japanese anime. In many parts of the world, some of these names had already developed their identity of their own. The original presenter who hosted Toonami was Moltar. Moltar stayed on the block for about 2 years, when it was later replaced by a new computer-animated robot who indisputably became the most notorious presenter of all Toonami. And that robot was called Tom. Tom's first appearance debuted on July 10, 1999. By this point, Toonami became a Saturday night block, showing programs from midnight to 5 AM.
So it's a brand new Toonami, but the mission objectives remain the same. My name is Tom. I'm the new Moltar. Welcome aboard the Ghost Planet Spaceship Absolution, Cartoon Network's first and only interstellar broadcast and exploration vehicle.
After Tom filled his shoes for Moltar, this character instantly became a symbol for the programming block, a brand new addition to the fans, young and old. An international version would soon follow a few years later. When Cartoon Network started airing Dragon Ball Z in early March 2000, the broadcasting company Turner decided that they should make their own variant of Toonami for viewers who reside in the UK. And on September that very same year, the block Toonami UK was born.
Toonami, your destiny is here.
There was a major difference between the US and the UK Toonami. It had a combination of the shows that were being aired on the American Toonami. For example, Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo, and Batman of the Future / Batman Beyond, and some shows that were exclusive to this version of Toonami. The block stayed on Cartoon Network until October 2002, when a new channel CNX launched in the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, in the US block, the presenter had a second new look, launched coincidentally on the same month when Toonami UK first appeared, on September 2000. This was because of the televised event The Intruder. Tom too introduced viewers his AI companion, Sarah. Tom also began doing reviews for video games and game consoles, during or sometimes between commercial breaks.
What really makes this game good is the new passing system. It's pressure-based, so the game's all about the sweet touch. It takes a while to get good, but it's worth the wait. Toonami gives FIFA 2002 9 out of 10.
This may surprise you a little bit, but Tom 2's voice actor was provided none other than Steve Bloom, who also portrayed Spike Spiegel in the hit anime series Cowboy Bebop. Coming back again on CNX, CNX also had the same taste of programs, genres being action, animation and adventure. It was sort of like Toonami, but under a different name. And it also aired live action and martial arts movies. That's an interesting combination. It even used to air Cartoon Network's Samurai Jack, Cowboy Bebop, with a hint of live action on evenings. Although it was doing great on the audience ratings, Turner decided to shut CNX down to make room for a brand new channel. On the 8th of September 2003, Toonami became a 24-hour channel on its own, replacing CNX. Now that Toonami was a channel in the UK, viewers were able to catch up with their favourite programs. The names were Dragon Ball Z, Justice League, One Piece, Teen Titans, The Batman, The Pokemon Saga, and many more that I might have forgotten to add or mention. With that being said, the British Toonami was indeed a surefire success, despite the voice changes for the host and exclusive program continuity.
But I do have one more bit of data I think you'll be interested in.
Sir, that's data.
Ever since its name change and success, the only critics really said was more demand for action animation, which had the majority of them but never came back after CNX folded. The host Tom, including its first presenter Moltar, would give motivational speeches to viewers.
We've all been angry before.
Bring it on!
These speeches would focus on everyday life problems and how it relates to all the programs on the block. For example, the anger.
There's nothing wrong with being angry, it's all in how you deal with it.
Don't tell me I'm crazy.
Anger can be a motivational tool.
Stop whining and let's get back to work.
Rage can hold you back. Vegeta is a perfect example of a rageaholic. He can't let go, so he stays angry for a long time.
The brain versus the brawn.
I know what you're thinking. Which one's better?
This guy's strong, but he's a blockhead. He might make a mistake. Blockhead?
Smart heroes think their way around problems. Look at a situation, see what needs to be done. Strong guys are different, not quite as pleasant. Sometimes downright ruthless.
Don't ever try to stop me.
In the end, brains or brawn alone isn't enough. You gotta find a middle ground.
You must have heart and cunning too.
It's the journey that's important, not the path you take.
And of course, lest we not forget, the courage.
There's no substitute for guts.
Well, you've got to stand up to him.
It can be a lot of things. Sticking by your friends can take courage.
We stick together through thick and through thin, am I right? All right.
Being yourself takes courage. Think of any of your favorite heroes. They have courage in spades.
I know the odds are against me, but if there's a way to win, I'm gonna find it!
By the early 2000s, the speeches increased more popularity. It continued to be a regular feature for the next few years, even when Tom had moved its way onto Adult Swim. There was a story where the host got killed off. On the comic Endgame, which was released online in 2003, Tom too was killed by a space mutant pirate Orkolot Rex who broke into his ship to steal Sarah. He tried his best to save Sarah, but when Sarah's kidnapper confronted Tom for the second time, his body was destroyed. With the help by a group of robots, Tom later found himself rebuilt. The fans realized now that it was no doubt the origin story of the new improved Tom 3.0. To win his battle, Tom 3 defeated the mutant with success, and obviously saved Sarah. The robot prisoners who fixed Tom also rebuilt their space vessel, the Absolution MK2, so that they could go home in peace. When Endgame finished, the host returned back to his brand new spaceship.
You've only got 55 seconds to get in here.
Yeah.
Tom,
I'm coming already.
if you don't get back in here,
I heard you the first time.
we're starting without you.
Just open the back door.
On March 17, 2003, Tom 3.0 appeared on board.
Why are you always late?
This version of Tom, however, looked pretty muscular in comparison to the previous ones.
I'm coming.
Every day the same thing.
Look out, coming through.
We've got a show to do here.
It's gonna be close.
Weirdly enough, on Toonami UK, it hadn't even changed a thing in their first year, as they were still using Tom 2 graphics on their on-air presentation. Not even Sarah changed, in fact. By the next year, the British Toonami got rid of Tom and Sarah and replaced their branding with something else. Now that we covered its launch and international existence, it's time we head to the most interesting part of our channelography. In the next part, we find out another European country had Toonami, and we'll even be discussing Cartoon Network's other block, Maguzi. The block and channel story continues in just a moment.